Hi, I'm Drayton Lamb, if any of y'all don't know me. Um, my parents are David and Ann Lamb, and if any of y'all know my grandma, she's Diane Lamb. And I'm here today to talk about how God always has a plan. And we always need to trust that plan, whether we want to or not. Back a couple months ago, during the winter, I tried out for basketball at Wesley. And I tried out, and I was kind of nervous because I didn't make it last year. And so I was praying about it a lot, and I was like, Dear Lord, if I'm not going to make it, just cut me early so I don't have to go through all the running and stuff. Well, I made it past the first cuts, and I got a little confidence in me. And then I made it past the second cuts, and I got pretty excited because I was like, all right, I'm probably going to make it. You know, I prayed, and I said, Dear Lord, if I'm not going to make it, then cut me early. And I made it so far to the last cuts. And the last cuts, and I didn't make it. And I was kind of upset, but, you know, things happen. And then earlier, I knew a guy named Benji. If any of y'all follow Carolina baseball, he's a catcher. And I was taking hitting lessons from him, and just not very often, once or twice a month. And then after I didn't make basketball, I got a bunch of free time and open time. So I went to him once or twice a week. And he taught me a lot. He's a great baseball player, and he's also a great Christian. He taught me a lot of things other than baseball. One thing he taught me was, one day, whenever I was up hitting in the cage, he asked me to hand him his bat. And I handed it to him, and I looked down, and in the major leagues, you have wood bats, so you can get your name, or your parents' name, or the team name, or anything, maybe your girlfriend's name. It doesn't really matter. But he put a Bible verse on there, and there's one Bible verse he always refers to, and that is Proverbs 3:5-6. And that says, Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. And that's kind of saying what we've been talking about during Youth Week. It's trust God whether you want to or not, because he always has a plan. And so I was like, that's pretty cool. How can I spread the word on the baseball field like he does? And I was thinking, I was up in my room one night before a baseball game. Well, we actually had 2 games that next day. And I was up there, and I was like, how can I spread the word like he does? And I saw a piece of athletic tape on my dresser. And I was like, that's it. I'll wrap that around my wrist, and I'll find a Bible verse real quick, and I'll do it tomorrow and see what happens. Hopefully I can get some people to ask about it. And so I did that. In the first game, I did pretty good. In the second game, it was awesome. But for the past year, I'd been praying to hit a home run over the fence. And I was praying, and it still hadn't happened yet. But that night, the first time I wore this piece of athletic tape on my wrist, it happened, and I hit a home run. And that was pretty awesome for me, because it wasn't just a home run. If you know baseball, then you know at the beginning is usually your most consistent hitter. Your fourth hitter is usually the best hitter, the power hitter, the person who hits the most home runs. And then your last couple of batters, 8th and 9th, are usually not as good. But in that time, the 8th and 9th batters got on base, and I was hitting second in the second. And so there were 2 people on, and I was on deck. And our leadoff batter, he didn't get on. And then I came up after him and hit a home run. So it should have been a grand slam. Should have been a grand slam. And then other than that, I hit it on the first pitch. And then to make it even better, it went over the scoreboard. And that's some God's goodness, or Gigi, as me and my dad call it. But every night at the dinner table, we always talk about, all right, who saw some Gigi today? But That's how God works in mysterious ways, and He always has a plan. Whenever I didn't make basketball, I was upset, and I didn't know what the reason was. But later I found out, and I'm glad I didn't make basketball now.